Hey everyone, welcome to the Brotherwise Games YouTube channel. This is Jillian here, and today I am going to be going over Adulthood. Adulthood is designed by Brotherwise Games co-founder Johnny O'Neill with really cool illustrations from Tim Brierly. In this video, I'll do a quick overview of Adulthood, how to set the game up, how to play, endgame scoring, and a quick overview of the solo mode. This is our first in-house how to play video, so if you have any suggestions for future how to play videos, please leave a comment below. And if you have any questions about gameplay for Adulthood, please leave a question in our comments and we'll get an answer to you. Otherwise, let's begin. Welcome to adult life. In adulthood, you are a young adult starting in the world trying to work on your career, find a partner that matches your values, and spend time on wellness, all while dealing with unexpected life events that may set you back. Each turn, players must choose how to spend their time, energy, and money on their player board to gain more resources and move up on the happiness and impact track on the central board. Work, play, struggle, or succeed. There's more than one way to win in adulthood. Now that you've got a gist of the game, we'll move on to the setup. Adulthood is super easy to set up. Grab the central market and scoring board and put it in the center of the table. The money, energy, negative impact, and happiness tokens and the grown-up, promoted, and married markers go next to the board like this. You'll then shuffle the various decks and place them at the top of the central board. This includes the Adulthood deck, values, life events, partners, and careers. In this game, I am setting up a full 4-player game. Each player starts with the same amount of resources. They'll each get a player board, 8 time meeples, 1 energy token, 1 money token, 2 career cards, 2 face down values, which players may not look at, and 1 additional value to be added to their hand, which they may look at but keep hidden from other players. You only know one of your values at the beginning of the game because you are a young adult. But don't worry, as you play, you'll be able to spend energy meditating to learn your other values. Each player places their score markers on the impact and happiness tracks on the central board. They then review their 2 career cards and discard the one they don't want to play with. After all players have discarded a career card, the card market is stocked with 5 cards from the Adulthood deck face up in the open spots on the central board. Setup is now complete. The first round begins with the oldest player going first. So now that setup is complete, how do you play the game? In this part of the video, I'm going to go over player turns, card types, growing up, promotions and marriage, and triggering the end of the game. There are 2 phases to a turn in adulthood. 1. Placing your time, energy, and money, and 2. Buying cards from the market and playing cards from your hand. At the beginning of your turn, you'll decide where to spend your time, energy, and money on your player board. Player boards have 8 action spots, 2 in career, 2 in community, 2 in leisure, and 2 in wellness. You can only use each action spot once per turn, but you may use both spots in a category in the same turn. The upper career spot on the player board allows you to spend 4 time to earn 1 money. This action at the beginning of the game represents part-time and minimum wage work. This will likely get replaced by a career card later in the game. The lower career spot on the player board allows you to interview. Spend 1 time here to draw a new career card, or you can get promoted if you're grown up. Work on your positive impact in the community action spots. On the upper community spot on the player board, you can spend 2 time to move 1 space on the impact track. You can place any community card you gain from the market here on your board to gain extra benefits. In the lower community spot, you can spend 3 money to move 1 space on the impact track. Leisure action spots allow you to spend time on your happiness. In the upper leisure spot, you can spend 2 time to move 1 space on the happiness track. Any leisure card you gain from the market may get placed here later in the game. In the lower leisure spot, you can date. Spend 1 time and 1 money here to add a partner card to your hand. If you already have a partner card played and you're grown up, you can get married. You can also spend time on wellness in adulthood. In the upper wellness spot, you are able to spend 2 time to gain 1 energy. This represents exercising and staying active. This may get replaced with any wellness card gained in the market. In the lower wellness spot, you can spend 1 energy to meditate. Remember those values during setup? You can spend energy doing some self-introspection to learn more about yourself. You can look at one of your face down values by putting it in your hand, or you can discard a value card from your hand to draw a new one. However, this new value will be drawn face down. So, let's do an example turn. Since this is the beginning of the game, I am starting with 8 time, 1 money, and 1 energy. To start my young adult life, I'll spend 4 time on my career, 2 time on leisure, and 2 time on wellness. This means I'll generate 1 money from my career, happiness from the leisure, which means I'll move up 1 spot on the happiness track on the central board, and an energy from my wellness. This completes the first phase of my turn. I now get to play cards from my hand and take a card from the market. This can be done in any order. On the first turn, the only card I can immediately play from my hand is the career card, which I will do. I'm going to spend an energy to become a professor. Let's take a look at the market now. I now have a chance to draft a card from the market, but you'll notice there's a cost to put some in my hand. These 3 slots all require me to pay at least 1 resource to acquire the card. The last 2 spaces are free. However, if I take the leftmost card, I'll gain an extra energy. Looking at these cards though, I'm going to take the free card from the second to last slot since it has an icon that matches my value. This card has a green bar with resources in the center. This is the same as the career card where this is the cost to play. Since I do not have the required resources to play it, it will stay in my hand. Now my turn is done and we move clockwise to the next player. There are a few types of cards in the game. You'll gain most of these cards from the market in the center board, but you'll also run into different types of cards through life events and actions on your player board. We played our career card in the first turn, which represents the bulk of our time spent in the main way to earn money. You'll see 2 different action spots, one before promotion and one that you can use after you get promoted. We'll touch more on promotions soon. You can also date and gain a partner card. Partner cards represent the people you spend time with and date or even get married to. You can only have 1 partner active at a time unless you have the open relationship trait. Each partner has 2 action spots, like the career cards. You can only use the right-hand slot if you're married. Partner cards also have a heart icon that matches a whole icon on a values card. Get a partner that matches your value and you'll score 4 extra points at the end of the game. Speaking of values, these cards tell you your deeply held values and motivations. They'll guide you on what cards to add to your life by giving you extra points at the end of the game. Remember that you only know one of your values at the start of the game, but you can spend an energy on meditation on your turn to learn or replace one of your values. Life events happen throughout your life as you move up on the happiness and impact tracks. Once you end or pass a space that looks like this, you'll draw a life event card on your turn. The Adulthood deck contains community, wellness, and leisure cards that you can place on your player board to replace the basic actions. You can only have 1 card in each slot at a time. These cards have actions you can play at the beginning of your turn and usually have more benefits than the basic actions. You can also gain resources, traits, and experiences from the Adulthood deck. Resources and traits are things you have or characteristics about you that give you a benefit. They'll stay on the side of your board with the whole card visible. You can have as many resources and traits as you like. Experiences are instant effects that you'll experience in life. When you play an experience, gain the listed effects immediately. Then, move the card to your experiences stack. You'll only need to see the top bar in your experiences stack to view the life icons for end of game scoring. During your adult life, you'll grow up into a real adult. You'll do this when your score marker ends on or crosses the space on the happiness or impact tracks with the arrow. This means that you can now get married or promoted. As mentioned previously, both careers and partners have 2 tiers of actions available to you. If you want to access the actions on the right side of these cards, you'll need to spend your time to get promoted or married. To get promoted in a career, you must use the interview action on your player board. Many careers have an additional requirement listed in the purple cost to upgrade bar. For example, if I wanted to get promoted as a professor, I'd have to have an additional book life icon to fully get promoted. You must use the date action on your player board to get married. You'll gain the married token once you've spent the time and money in that area. Like careers, many partners have an additional life icon requirement listed in the purple cost to upgrade bar. The goal in adulthood is to gain points from your character's happiness and impact on others, but you get to pick how you maximize both. Once any player's happiness and impact score markers cross, the end of the game is triggered. Play continues until the end of the player's turn before the first player. Once this is complete, all value cards are turned face up. Now that we are at the end of the game, it is time to tally up points. First, we'll move our score markers back 1 space for each negative happiness and impact token. In this case, I'll move back 5 on happiness and 1 on impact. Then we'll gain 1 happiness for each matching life icon in our story in sets of 3 and above. Let's take a quick look. We have 6 matching life icons, so we'll move up 4 spaces on the happiness track. After that, we'll look to see if we have a complete heart from marrying a partner who matches one of our values. And we do. We'll move up 4 spaces on the impact track. The last thing we'll do is gain happiness from each of our value cards. I'll be moving up 6 spaces from my values. Then we'll add our happiness and impact scores together. Whoever has the highest score is the best adult and wins. Adulthood also has a solo mode. There's a solo side of the center board and a solo version of a player board. In this version, you'll focus on a solo achievement rather than values, which are dealt out at the beginning of the game. Achievements have a challenge, each with 3 levels of difficulty. Your goal is to complete them at any level, but ideally at the highest. We'll do a playthrough of the solo mode in a different video soon. And that's adulthood for you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and remember, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment below and we'll get your questions answered for you. See you next time.